Right, so I bought this job lot of old computers off Facebook Marketplace for 150 quid. I'm going to be going through them one by one, trying to get them working if they're not already working, and then selling them on eBay for hopefully a nice profit. So up first we have this 22-year-old HP Pavilion. The overall condition isn't too bad for the age of the computer. It's got its fair share of scuffs and scratches, but there's no major damage to the chassis, which is good. The first thing I wanted to do to the computer was try and power it on to see if there was any life whatsoever. However, whilst trying to do this, I instantly noticed the first issue. The power button wasn't properly in, so I couldn't actually push in, which is good. So yeah, the first job was getting the front panel off, finding the button, putting the button back in its place, and then putting the front panel back on. Quite an easy first job, although I did struggle to get the front panel off for quite a while. But yeah, I got there in the end. So with that sorted, I tried powering it on again and was pleasantly surprised to see the fans actually start spinning. However, a couple seconds later, I was met with this. So after doing a bit of research, asking ChatGPT, it told me that it was possibly a RAM or a RAM issue. So it told me to take one of the sticks out and try powering it on with just one of the sticks. So I gave that a try. So I powered it on and it was quite cool to see that it actually posted and the screen turned on and there was a picture. There was a picture on the screen. However, my excitement slowly died down as I realised that it was just frozen. I left it for like 5 minutes and it wouldn't come off the initial post screen. So yeah. Anyway, I turned it on. No, I didn't turn it on. I turned it off and then turned it back on again to see if that, would fix it, the trusty off and on. However, that sort of backfired because now I was just getting a black screen. The computer was running, but I was getting a black screen, so no output whatsoever. So after asking ChatGPT again, it did tell me to just go in and reseat the power cables in the motherboard. So I'd done exactly that. I took the 24-pin cable out, and then I took the 4-pin cable out, left it out for a couple seconds, plugged them both back in. I also just took the CPU cooler off and put some new thermal paste on the CPU just to rule out any overheating issues. So I put it all back together with sort of low hopes, but yeah, I turned it on and surprisingly it worked. And we got through the initial post and it was actually loading into Windows XP, which was great news. I was very, very happy to see that. So now I've got it all working. I wanted to give it a good clean because it was very dusty and grimy. So I've done exactly that. And there it is in all its glory. Cosmetically, it's not looking too bad for its age, but more importantly, it's now running with no issues whatsoever, which is great. So finally, I took some pictures and got the Pavilion ready to be listed on eBay. After looking at some similar sold listings, there didn't seem to be much of this model sort of on there. So I just stuck it up for 150 quid and put offers on just to see what would happen. You never know. If I did manage to get the full asking price of £150, then that would mean that we've already broken even for the first video for the sold job lot. So yeah, that would be really good news, but we will see what happens. So that's it for this first video, unfortunately, but in the next one, I'm going to be taking a look at this old mesh computer right here. So if you enjoyed the video and want to see how much I eventually make from this job lot, then feel free to subscribe if you want to. But yeah, thank you very much for watching.